Hey, welcome back to the Nansera Wellness YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing yoga for arm strengthening. If you feel like your arms are weak, your shoulder joints and elbows are, maybe even the wrists are at risk of getting injury, or you just want to feel strong in your arms, you want them to look toned, this is the practice for you. It's beginner level. But before we get started, if you're new here, kindly subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Say something in the comment section. What did you like about the practice, or what do you wish to see? We're going to start in a child's pose, sending your arms overhead, stretching into them, taking a deep breath. Inhale, taking this moment to set an intention for your practice. Maybe you want to build endurance and strength. Maybe it's for good health and happiness. Anything you want to keep returning to throughout the practice, like a positive mantra. And when you're ready, lifting up, come forward into a tabletop, separating your knees hip distance apart. Your palms are shoulder distance apart. Option to keep the toes tucked or untucked. Inhale, we're going to press the knuckles into the mat and lift the palms and release, lift, release, lift and release. Just going at your own pace. Try to keep your shoulders over your wrist joints. And I just want to set a simple rule for the practice. Let's try to make sure no matter what we do, that we try not to push our shoulders over our wrists. Yeah, like that. Let's try not to go too deep unless you really feel like you're strong and can control it. Now turn the fingertips to face to the edges of the mat and shift the weight from side to side, getting into the wrists, turning them to face all the way back, going forward and pull back. Not too much. And sitting all the way down, interlace your fingers and then draw the infinity sign of figure 8 from side to side, just awakening the wrists. And from here we're going to send the arms up and just try to call someone. Let's see, how many of these can you do? Beautiful. Returning back into a tabletop. Now we're going to send the right hand and left leg back. Look forward, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, left hand and right leg. Release. Breathing in, switch sides. Breathe out and release. Try to lengthen when you send the arms forward, like you want to go with them. Ooh, like you're a ballerina. One more each side. And second side. Beautiful. From here we're going to tuck the toes, round into the back, and lift up into a floating tabletop. Your knees almost on the ground but lifted, balancing here. Breathe in, lengthening the elbows, shoulder blades pulling away from each other, and then send the hips up and back to downward facing dog, swaying the hips from side to side. Amazingly done. From here, lift your heels from the mat, push the palms into the ground, lengthen into the elbows, suck the kneecaps in and slowly start grounding your heels back into the mat, maybe floating all 10 toes off the mat. Breathe. I want you to grab into that mat with your palms. Your spine is straight. Feel it shooting, the fire is shooting from your shoulders all the way down into your fingers. Bend your knees, look forward, step, jump or walk to the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your shins for a flat back, hips right above the heels. And from here, fold. Maybe micro bend your knees, sway your hips from side to side, whatever feels good. Inhale, returning to a flat back. Exhale, fold completely. Let your trunk be heavy. And now slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, rise up to the top. Looking forward, inhale, circle sweeping your arms all the way up. And on the exhale, prayer to your chest. Let's do 3 rounds of standing salutation. Arms go overhead. Bring them to a prayer. Breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Sending the arms overhead. This time turn the palms to face forward, and from here stacking your hips right above your heels. I want you to lean forward, and when you can't go any further, start going down and form a right angle pose. Try to keep your arms in the same line with your ears and breathe. Sucking the kneecaps in, heels almost lifting off the mat. The weight should be in the toes, and slowly fold all the way down. Inhale, looking forward for a flat back. And on the exhale, plant your palms, step back for plank pose. Shoulders right above the wrists. Drop the knees, bend elbows back, tailbone skyward. Drop chin and chest for 8 angle pose. And from here, release everything into the mat. Palms under the shoulders. Draw your heels close together. Lift your chest up for Bhujangasana. Breathe here. And slowly release. Now we're going to lift up and turn to the side, to the left. Returning back to center. To the right. Center. To the left for our twisting cobra. Center. To the right. I want you to lift your chest, shoulders away from ear. Left. Center. And right. Last round, center, to the left, center, to the right. Beautiful. Now release your elbows into the mat. Lift the chest for Sarva Bhujangasana. Keep pushing your chest forward, dropping the elbows, pushing them into the mat, lengthening shoulders away from the ears. And on the exhale, release, plant your palms, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Breathe. Palms are pushing into the mat. Lengthen into your knees. Suck the kneecaps in. Inhale, sending the right leg up for 3-legged dog. And on the exhale, step the right foot between your palms and drop the back heel into the mat. Open into warrior 2. Arms are shoulder level in a T-shape. Looking over your right middle finger. Breathe here. Deep inhale. Sink on the exhale. Breathing in and out. Next inhale. Peel your back heel off the mat. Send your arms overhead for a high lunge. And on the exhale, lean forward for Superman pose. Try to keep your arms in the same line with your ears or even further back behind them. Breathe. From here, we're going to lift the back leg off the mat and transition into warrior 3. Maybe find your arms in a high prayer overhead. Try to keep your hips square. Option to micro bend into the right knee. And on the exhale, bring your palms to the mat. Step the front foot back. Find yourself into a plank pose. Shift the weight forward, bend elbows back, chaturanga. Slide through upward facing dog or Bhujangasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step the left foot between your palms and open up into Virabhadrasana, 2-second side. Keep opening the left leg out to the left. Arms are shoulder level, looking over your left middle finger. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, sinks deeper. Breathe in. Breathe out. Next inhale, peel the back heel off the mat, arms overhead for a high lunge. And on the exhale, lean forward for your Superman pose. Suck the back kneecap in. Arms are in the same line with the ears. And breathe. I know the heart rate is going up. Use your breath to try to keep it under control. And from here, we're going to lean forward and lift the right leg up for Virabhadrasana 3. Maybe find your hands into a prayer overhead. Breathe here, keep the hips square. And then from here, release the hands into the mat. Step the back foot to the front for a forward fold. Inhale, bend into the knees, send your arms overhead. Utkatasana, chair pose. Make sure when you look down, you can see your toes. Look forward, breathe. Push those arms away from your tailbone is tucked in. Maybe even sink deeper into your chair. Beautiful. Deep inhale. Sink deeper for the exhale. Inhale. And on the exhale, bring your palms to a prayer. Open your knees out wide. Separate your feet maybe. And release your hands all the way down. Come into a squat. Heels come off the mat. Option to move your feet slightly further back. Open your knees out wide. Release your palms into the mat. But make sure the inner arches of your thighs are touching onto your elbows. Yeah? Option to use your block. We're going to do Bakasana Curl. Option to have a block or something soft in front of you for a soft landing. I know it's a bit scary for the beginning, but this reduces the height from which you'll fall mentally. You're scared of it, chances are. But anyway, from here, with the inner thighs touching our elbows, we're going to lift up and then bend the elbows back. Sometimes you tend to bend the elbows sideways. That's not going to work. You're going to fall out of that before you even get started. So bend the elbows back, lean forward, push into your arms and lift maybe one leg, maybe both legs. Breathe here. Use the thighs to push the elbows together. 2 more breaths. And then from here, jump or step back into your chaturanga. Get this out of the way. Into your chaturanga, and then rise up into a high plank and breathe. Amazing, well done. I'm so proud of you. From here, we're going to lift the right hand up and balance on the left. Hips are square. 2 breaths. Option to drop the knees into the mat if it's too much. 1 more breath here. And then from here, we're going to transition into a side plank. And again, you have the option to drop one knee into the mat. Maybe send the right hand up. Deep inhale. Heavy exhale. Inhale. And on the exhale, returning back to plank. And again, you have the option to go into for your half chaturanga, bhujangasana or upward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Amazing. Inhale, returning back into a plank pose and breathe. From your plank, right hand goes off the mat, hips are square and breathe. Try to keep the left shoulder towards the ground. 1 more breath, push into that right arm and transition into side plank. Maybe send the left hand up, that's an option, or you can keep it here, wherever you want to keep it. Push the right palm into the mat for 2 more breaths. Bringing the left palm back to the mat. Lean forward, bend elbows back, chaturanga. Slide through. Upward facing dog. Push the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Well done, yogi. Amazing gift to your arms. And now from here, you're going to come all the way into a seated position. We're going to lengthen the legs straight in front of us and we're going to do celibate's pose. We're going to place the palms alongside our hips, maybe spread the fingers out wide, and from here we're going to push the palms into the mat, lift the glutes up, suck the kneecaps in, use your core and float your legs off the mat. Okay, that's not fair. I'll show you options. Hang on. So this usually gives you more height. Push the palms into your blocks and lift up. It's okay even if you don't lift and you just push the palms into the mat. That's a step. We'll get there. And you can just stay here and breathe. And lower. We're going to do 3 more rounds like that. So I've showed you that option with the blocks. Otherwise, plant your palms. You can also do it without the blocks. The blocks give you extra height. And lift up. Balance here. Suck the kneecaps in. And slowly release. Push the palms into the mat, lift and hold for 3, 2, 1. Release. Whew. Shake your palms out. All right, final round. Are you ready? Plant the palms, suck the kneecaps, lift the glutes, use the quad, lean back and lift. We got this. For 3, 2, and 1. Release. Oh my God. Shake your arms out a bit and then bend your knees, plant your feet into the mat, plant your palms back. Option for fingertips to be facing you or maybe the opposite direction. And from here, I want you to lift into a reverse tabletop. Push into your palms, maybe look overhead and breathe here. And slowly release. We're going to do one more round. Alternatively, you can do Setu Asana or continue with reverse tabletop. So if you're going for Setu Asana or reverse plank, you're going to send your feet slightly further forward, maybe arms slightly further back, and from here you're going to lift up, lengthen into the knees, bust your hips up, try to bring your toes to touch the mat and push. Contract your glutes and let's stay for 5, 4, maybe look overhead, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release all the way down. Come to lying flat on your belly. Send your arms out sideways into a cross. And then from here, we're going to start with the left hand. Send the left hand overhead. Thread the right hand under. Palm facing up to the left. And look over your right shoulder. Breathe. And from here, we're going to lift the right hand up, send it all the way back to the right, bend into the right knee, come into your spinal twist, look over your right shoulder. And we return back to center into our crossed arms. And this time, we're going to send the left hand forward, thread the right hand under, look over your right shoulder. Feel the stretch in your shoulder. Breathe. With every exhale, you let yourself get heavy on that shoulder. Unless you feel like your shoulders are weak, then not too much pressure into the stretch. And from here, we're going to lift the left hand up and send it all the way back. Bend into the left knee for a spinal twist, looking over our left shoulder. Deep breaths. From there, we're going to return back to center. Bring your knees to your chest, give them a squeeze. Maybe draw circles to one direction and then to the opposite direction. Releasing your legs out wide, bring your thumbs to your palms, close them in and draw circles with your wrists. Be very, very gentle. That was somewhat strenuous on them. And then to the opposite direction. Beautiful. And now from here, we're going to send them up. Push them up against the ceiling and then bend them all the way like you want to touch your fingers to your hands. Again, push up and then bend them like you want to touch them to your arms. Last one, push up and bend a whole lot and interlace your fingers and again draw circles with them, going very, very gentle. Maybe shake them out, gentle. And when you're ready, release them alongside your hips, palms facing up, letting your feet relax, letting everything relax. Closing down your eyes for your Shavasana. Maybe you want to initiate some pranayama, some abdominal breathing. Go for it. Stay here for as long as you want. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I wish for you good health and happiness. Namaste.